Welcome to the very first episode of Which Game Should I Play? The series where we'll compare and contrast different games to decide which one is the best fit for you. In today's inaugural episode, we'll be taking a look at two beautifully captivating short games. You can beat both of them in one sitting, and they're both leaving the PS Plus Extra catalog. The Last Day of June and Virginia. They almost have the same Metascore too. Each game offers a unique visual style and an engaging narrative, which is wrapped up in a short runtime. We'll quickly go over what the games are about, their many similarities, and their key differences, and you get to decide which one is the best for you. They're both leaving May 16, so which game should you play? Let's get started. Last Day of June is an unforgettable gaming experience that teaches us a valuable lesson about love, loss, and the complex nature of fate. Its vibrant colors, shallow depth of field, soft texture, and impressionist art style give it this dreamy look, which is perfect because it's all about memories. But what are these memories about? Well, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a huge hint in the title itself. Last Day of June. It's set in autumn. If you've seen the What If episode with Doctor Strange, you'll know exactly the outcome he's trying to prevent. Come to think of it, it's exactly the same way too. The game itself is a time loop where what you do in the game changes the outcome of the whole day. But the neat thing here is, unlike Groundhog's Day and Edge of Tomorrow, you're not retracing your own steps and learning from them. Instead, you control 4 neighbors whose actions will seal your fate. Playing as one of the 4 neighbors, you'll be solving a series of puzzles, unraveling the events of that fateful day and attempting to change the outcome. Each character's memories provide a different perspective on the events, revealing new information and opening up new puzzle-solving opportunities. At the end of every single memory, you'll be given a card. So for example, a boy is playing with a ball and a dog. Putting all the 4 neighbors' memories together will result in a predetermined outcome that is represented by a painting. Your job is to keep changing that painting until you get a happy ending. The cool thing is the actions of one neighbor affect the memories of the other. So as a quick example, playing as the boy, you can't push a heavy door. But in a different memory, you play as an adult that can easily push open the heavy door. So you end the day, and when you replay as the boy again, the door is now open. So it's an interesting way to retell the story about the same day while minimizing its repetitiveness. The 4 character stories are interwoven, so there's a lot of switching back and forth between the characters and discovering new areas with each one. To also cut down on repetitiveness, some of the moments you've already seen will be skipped or fast forwarded, so you don't have to keep watching the whole thing every single time. The memories get shorter with each playthrough. Overall, Last Day of June delivers a deeply moving experience that will be remembered for a long time. Its main themes are the bonds that connect us and the lengths we would go to protect the ones we love. Virginia is a first-person interactive drama, cough cough, walking sim, set in the early 1990s. You are a newly graduated FBI agent. Your first case involves the mysterious disappearance of a young boy in a small rural town in Virginia. But your actual test is to secretly investigate your own partner without her finding out about it. Virginia's storytelling draws inspiration from iconic TV shows like Twin Peaks and The X-Files, with the heavy use of the color red and loss of smoking. It's trippy as heck, and you're constantly questioning whether it's a dream or not, blurring the lines between reality and imagination, or even hallucination. While the game itself can be described as linear, it is fragmented. Jumping back and forth, you're constantly questioning everything. Okay, do I have to say it? Fine. The truth is out there. Yes, it's a walking sim. Let's just get to the point. You walk and you click. That's literally it. But the game uses a lot of jump cuts to cut down on the walking portion of the walking sim. You are free to move around and explore areas to find new things to click on, but they are few and far between. What you will get, however, is tiny moments where you have a short window to interact with something. So for example, in a short 10-second sequence involving a car ride, you can look outside, or your partner, or you can fiddle with the radio for a random trophy. So it's not a completely linear game, but it's pretty dang close. Virginia's story leaves room for interpretation, encouraging players to unravel its mystery and connect the dots themselves, which might turn some people off who are used to a more concise, unambiguous story. If you like the 2 shows mentioned, you'll like playing this. It's essentially a low-poly, early 90s 3D interactive movie. Some would say it takes itself too seriously. The opening credits are just as long as a movie, and it's so jarring to get credits at the start of the game. People want to start the game ASAP, but I can see what they were going for. Its main themes are trust, friendship, and personal growth. Let's talk about the similarities very quickly. They both have cinematic storytelling. One is a walking sim that's like a movie, and the other one is a puzzle game with emotions. Both games have a very unique animated art style. Virginia has a low poly art style from a first-person perspective, while Last Day of June looks more like an impressionist painting, and it's from a third person. They're both relatively short games that could be beat in one sitting. They both have an enigmatic and surreal narrative that unfolds through zero dialogue. This is why I wanted to compare these games. They're very similar. Despite both games having no talking at all, they make up for it with an amazing soundtrack. So let's talk about the differences, and here's where we're gonna award the points. We got a walking sim and a puzzle-solving time loop. One of them is an actual game, so it's clearly off to a good start here. Puzzle mechanics are a core aspect of so many games. I understand trying to be unique, but avoiding gameplay mechanics altogether is not going to win a point here. Walking sims have had a bad rep, but they're actually enjoyable if you treat them as an interactive movie. The point here will go for Last Day of June. Let's talk about the art style. Personally, I love the low poly look and the trippy visuals. It really did feel like a movie. This is a very personal one, it can go either way. But for me, the character models in Last Day of June were trippy with the no eyes and the big heads. I couldn't help but to think of South Park with the main character. He's supposed to be like this sweet guy who loves his wife, but all I could think about was, drugs are bad. If you do drugs, you're bad, okay? So the point here, I'm gonna give it to Virginia, because I kind of really like the low poly look. Let's talk about the story. Virginia has a story about conspiracies and the FBI, which is always gonna be a win. Honestly, having a hard time remember how it ended though. Oh yeah, okay, I wouldn't say it's a satisfying ending, but it's kind of a loop in its own way. But it's definitely more forgettable than Last Day of June. The Last Day of June story, it's about changing a traumatic memory. For me, it was one of the most impactful endings I've seen in a video game. My jaw was dropped. I was like, no! Oh my god, I should have seen that coming! Anyway, so definitely play it until the end, because you will be rewarded. It is very emotional. So I'm gonna have to give another point to Last Day of June. So which game should you play? If you only had time for one, I would say go for June. Virginia is a good game for one sitting. It's a bit shorter too, but if you break it up into more than one sitting, you'll be confused where you were the last time. It's sort of like watching a movie in multiple sittings. It just doesn't have the same impact. Whereas June, it's a game, and it's a time loop. So breaking it up into multiple 1-hour sittings, and everything is still clear, especially because it's repeatable. So let's visit the meta ratings again. So as you can see, although Virginia wins in some places, the user score is consistently better for June, and I kind of have to agree with that. So if you have time for one game this week, I'm gonna give it to June. If you got 8 hours and you want to play both, they're both leaving PS Plus Extra on May 16th. So if you're watching this later, pick up one of these games when it goes on sale. If you want to keep up to date with which games are leaving, you can subscribe to this channel, or I'll just show you how to do it in the PlayStation menu. After clicking the left tab that says PlayStation Extra, you'll be taken to this here. This is the latest. You want to go to benefits and then collections. Go to collections. From here, you're going to scroll down. You're going to keep scrolling down until you reach last chance to play. And boy, if you haven't played Spider-Man, you better get on that. From here, just go all the way to the right until you see view all, and then click on that. And this is the tab that you should be paying attention to at least once a month, because these games are leaving, and I almost didn't know about it. If you like this review, subscribe because I will be reviewing as many short games as I can. I didn't realize how fast they leave the service. It's also a nice break from the 100 hours AAA games with mindless fetch quest. So if you're tired of all the clones, give the short games a try. Leave a comment on which short games I should compare next. I'll be doing full reviews soon on each individual game. So be a friend and I'll see you again.